Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my transfer plans for Game Week 20 and also how I'm currently getting on in Game Week 19. The information has now come out that Cunha is going to be serving a 2-match ban. So as a Cunha owner, obviously need to take a look at my options. But either way, we're going to be breaking all that down. If you're excited for the video, drop a like, leave a comment. What are your plans for the next game week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off with Game Week 19, I'm currently sitting on 68 points. Not the best game week at all. We're on a bit of a red arrow from, I think, 180k down to like 218. So on about a 30k, 40k red arrow. I do still have 2 players left to play, but obviously it all went wrong because I don't own either Trent or Lewis Hall. Last night's fixtures actually went relatively well for me, being an owner of Rodgers and João Pedro and Isaac. But yeah, I think the players that I didn't own, all performing exceptionally well, has really hurt me this week. But either way, I've still got 2 players left to play, Raya and Gabriel, who both have Brentford away. If by some sort of miracle they can keep a clean sheet, we should be finishing on around 80 points, maybe 81, 82 with potential save points and potential bonus points. If Gabriel goes and gets a bullet header, then he's going to already make my 2025 a great year. But either way, currently on 68 points, 2 players left to play. Let's see where it all went wrong. So Colwill picking up 0 points. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting rid of Colwill. Chelsea's defense just isn't all that. And their fixtures, they're still okay. But from a defensive standpoint, it's not really a player that I'm bothered about keeping. And getting that 0 pointer last night kind of just cemented that because there's a lot of really good options coming up as well that I do want to get rid of him for. So yeah, Colwill with the 0 pointer, not ideal. Robinson picking up 4 points, getting another assist. Yeah, such a good player to own really. I think he's the highest assisting defender this season. So yeah, really happy with that. And then Munoz was my transfer this week. I got rid of Greaves for Munoz just for a bit of bench support, but then Greaves goes and starts back-to-back games and then gets a clean sheet against Chelsea last night. He can't really make it up, but either way, Munoz was really unlucky not to score. I think he got an XG of like 0.5 or something like that. If we actually take a look at his stats, he got an expected goal involvement at 0.60, but yeah, he had like a shot cleared off the line or something like that, so very unlucky not to score, but that would have been obviously great. But yeah, defenders not ideal this week. 6 points from 3 is not great. Luckily though, in the midfield, it's where the magic happens. Mo Salah, water is wet, gets another double-digit haul. 16 points from him, doubled to 32. Yeah, he's just a set and forget captain now. I don't even care who they play. He's just always going to be my captain because he's already over 200 points, which I think it's only happened like 80 times that someone's got over 200 points. He's halfway through the bloody season. He's going to score, like, if he carries on like this, he's going to set a new record because he's just unreal. Like, he's just getting double-digit hauls every single week. And they've still got another game to play as well. They've got a game in hand against Everton. So, yeah, he's just going to be set and forget now. I think it's just silly to go against him. He's just too good. Which is unfortunate because, like, the kind of, I guess, the differences in captains is just, it's kind of gone out the window now because everyone's just going to, like, it's just not safe at all to go against Salah. Doesn't matter who he plays. Then Palmer as well, 2 points. If you did captain Palmer, I feel like you got really unlucky. He did get an assist that was chalked off for offside, hit the post as well. You know, if both of those goes in, you know, that's a 13-pointer there. So it's really unfortunate. Morgan Rodgers finally getting some points in my actual team. The only bad thing, though, is that he picked up his 5th yellow of the season, which means that he will miss that Leicester at home game. So that's really annoying because obviously with the Cunha ban and Rodgers now out, I've lost 2 players, you know, in the space of a game week, which is really unfortunate. The Cunha one, I mean, again, we'll talk about that more in the kind of transfer portion of the video. I knew that was coming, so that's not like a massive shock. But the Rodgers one's a little bit annoying because Leicester at home is obviously such a good fixture. But either way, midfield, not too bad. And then up top, all the strikers, barring Cunha, doing really well. João Pedro picking up 9 points, got 2 assists. I mean, that first assist, I'll take it, but I don't like it. Looked like it hit him. They originally gave it to Dunk, which I also didn't really get because that just wasn't his intended target. Like he kicked it up to João Pedro, and then João Pedro kind of like maybe hit the ball. Who knows? But then obviously Adringa came in and scored. Like that wouldn't, for the intended target rule. Surely that's not. I don't even understand this rule anymore because Dunk's intended target was not Adringa. He just hoofed it up front. So for that to be an assist, but then, you know, and Mbeumo is not to get an assist a few weeks back when he kicked it into the box. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. But anyway, rant over about that. João Pedro picking up 9 points, very happy because it was between him and Mbumo, really. I decided to go with João Pedro because I have 2 Arsenal defenders this week, so it didn't really make sense to play an attacker against 2 of my defenders. So I went João Pedro, picked up 2 assists, got a bonus point, very happy with that. Cunha came off at half-time with an injury. Now, it apparently isn't that bad, and I would have started him against Forest if obviously he was fit. Because the manager said it wasn't that bad, and they had a conversation about it, and Cunha just said that he couldn't feel like he could run that much or something like that. Either way, it doesn't really matter because he's been banned anyway. And then Isak picking up 7 points as well. And then on the bench, Ward with nothing, and Mbumo still yet to play, Kirkes with a point, and then of course Bruno Fernandes serving his red card ban. So we finished on 68 points, not a great game week. Again, still 2 players left to play though. I would love a clean sheet from Arsenal. I really need it tomorrow. But yeah, currently on 68 points. So let's take a look at transfers and go into detail about this Cunha ban. So, because there's quite a few things to note about it. It's not just simply, banned and that's that. So, the actual thing is that he's been banned for 2 fixtures, which really isn't that bad. 2 fixtures for, breaking someone's glasses is generally not that bad. And he's also been fined 80,000 as well. The thing to note, though, is that this is only going to be 1 Premier League game, because they have an FA Cup game as well, and that counts as one of those banned games. So he misses the Forest game, but then he's back for Newcastle away. So he's only missing 1 fixture, which, if he's injured anyway, he would have missed regardless. So, as a Cunha owner, it's generally, not bad at all. It's actually, a solid sort of... It's a solid outcome as a Cunha owner. The only issue is, what do you do with him? Because the fixtures are terrible. Yes, he only misses Forest, but then he's back for Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Villa at home, Liverpool away. It's a terrible run of fixtures, and I know that he only misses 1, but that's just such an awful run of fixture. Fine, game week 26, I'll definitely be bringing him back, and I know that he's been under really good form, and the new manager sorted it out, but it's such a bad fixture run, man. 3 away fixtures to arguably some of the best informed teams. At least Newcastle and Liverpool very informed. Chelsea, he could probably nab a goal in that game. But then Arsenal at home, Villa at home. I just don't think it's worth holding on to him. Even though it's a 1-match ban, it doesn't seem like the best time to hold on. If he'd got banned for Fulham, obviously you keep him because then he'd have Everton, Southampton, yada yada yada. But with this fixture run, even though he's only missing 1 game, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense because I'm missing Rodgers this week, and then I'd be missing Cunha. So I can only play João Pedro, who's got Arsenal at home, who I've got 2 Arsenal defenders anyway, and then I also have to play Bruno Fernandes, who's got Liverpool away as well, which I think I'd play anyway. But it's terrible fixtures for my team. The Rodgers and the Cunha situation is probably at the worst time. So I think for me, I'm going to get rid of Cunha this week. In terms of striking options, who do you even go with? Wood, I think, is probably the player that I'm most likely to go with. I've got 8.4 mil in the bank. Jimenez, I think, is just a little bit too much of a risk in terms of benching. You've got Solanke as well, who doesn't have the greatest fixtures. Newcastle at home's tough, and then Arsenal and Everton away. I don't think he's going to score in either of those fixtures. So I don't think I'm going to go anywhere near Solanke. Evan Nilsson's an option, but after the Everton game, they've got terrible fixtures. Delap, there's no one that's really jumping out at me, apart from Mateta, who's obviously had some good minutes lately as well. But I don't know, he's got Chelsea away this week. It's not really a player that I'm rushing in to bring in. So that's the only situation there. Who do you bring in for him? I think for me, it's just going to be Chris Wood. He's cheaper. He's still on penalties, so I still keep a penalty taker there. And obviously, Forest are in really good form at the moment. So that'd be one of my transfers. And I still got 1.7 mil in the bank. I think I'm definitely going to do Cunha to Wood because the fixtures just don't, they're not good enough for me to keep hold of him. And he's going to drop down in price and stuff a lot anyway. So by the time I want to bring Cunha in, he's probably going to be about 6.8, 9 anyway. Unless he obviously keeps scoring or whatever. So I'll be bringing in Wood for Cunha, and I have 1 free transfer left with 1.7 mil in the bank. So now it's what do I do with that? Obviously, I would love to own Trent because I think Man United at home is probably the best fixture that they're going to have this season, because even though they're not the worst team in the league, that rivalry there, they'll want to absolutely smash them out of the park, especially at Anfield as well. So yeah, not ideal at all. So I can't get to Trent from this position unless I get rid of Gabriel, which I'm not completely against, because the fixtures from a Arsenal defensive standpoint aren't ideal. Like Brighton away, Spurs at home, Villa at home, Wolves away, City at home. They're not great fixtures from a defender, so I could do Cunha to Wood, and then I could do Gabriel to Trent this week. The only problem with that, obviously, is I have Bruno Fernandes, so I'd be playing Trent against Bruno Fernandes, which doesn't really make that much sense either. So that could be something I do, and then I play like Trent, Kirkez, and Robinson this week. But like I say, Bruno Fernandes, I have to play him really, because I can't play Rodgers. I mean, because I've got João Pedro as well, who's playing double Arsenal defense. I don't know, it's put me in a pretty bad spot. I may have to take a hit this week, to be fair, because like I say, it's all over the place. I mean, from a logistical standpoint, it doesn't make sense to bring in Trent if I've got a United attacker. Even though I don't think Bruno's going to get anything in that game, he might get a cheeky penalty or something. You never know, and then that obviously knocks out the clean sheet and stuff. Like United might just turn into a different animal when they're playing Liverpool. You never know. They probably won't, but there's always hope. So because I'm playing Bruno this week, I think I'm just gonna have to ride it out and then just hope that United score, because they've got Southampton at home the week after, and that's a fixture I definitely want Bruno for. So for that reason, it probably isn't smart to bring in Trent this week. So with my other transfer, I'd be playing Kirkez and Robinson definitely this week. But then do I play double Arsenal defense if I'm going to be playing João Pedro? Like maybe I have to play 4 at the back, like a 4-4-2 at the back or something. Play like Gabriel, Kirkez, Robinson, and Munoz. Play these 4, and then obviously 2 up front, and then bench João Pedro, because I don't want to play João Pedro against 2 double Arsenal defense. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So that's one thing I could do. I could do another defender transfer as well. I really want to bring in Hall, but I think from next week onwards that makes more sense. Like Spurs away is a tough fixture for Newcastle, I think. But yeah, Hall is definitely a player that I probably want to bring in for Kirkez the week after, because after Everton at home, they've got a terrible run of fixtures. So I'm very, very happy to do Kirkez to Hall after that. There's obviously the Colwill situation as well that I'm not a massive fan of. Potentially you want to be bringing in a Forest defender for Colwill. And then obviously bring in a Newcastle defender for Kirkez. That's probably what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, there's always a Palace player I could bring in as well. It's just a really tough one at the moment, because I don't want to get rid of Bruno just before Southampton at home. I know he's got Liverpool, but yeah, it's just there's a bit of a dilemma. It's a bit of a dilemma now. So I think definitely Cunha to Wood, and then with my other free transfer, I don't know. I might just roll. There will be a deadline stream this week. I know there hasn't been any in a while because I've been injured. I've been ill. Also, obviously, Christmas periods for that, all that. But yeah, I think I'd maybe make a defender transfer here as well, or maybe I just make 2 strike. I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah, I think definitely Cunha to Wood, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'd definitely go Trent, but because I've got Bruno, it just doesn't make sense to do that. We'll see. We'll see. I think I'll make a defender transfer as well. Potentially Colwill out for a different defender. Maybe bring in a Forest defender like Milenkovic or something. Because without Cunha, I think they are going to suffer greatly. Which is, as a Forest fan, that's great. That's given us a massive boost. So I think I'll probably just bring Milenkovic in for Colwill this week. Play him. And then next week, because if I want to bring Trent in next week, I don't know. Maybe it's best to just roll the second transfer. But either way, that's going to be my transfer plans. Definitely Wood in for Cunha, and then we'll see what else I do. But yeah, there'll be a wildcard this week. There'll be a team selection video this week, all that jazz. We'll see what happens. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What are your plans for the game week? What are your plans with Cunha? Have a fantastic new year. And until next time, peace.